everyone, welcome back to Black Moon Coven, and you are watching WitchCast, a series of videos where I document the controversy and hot topics in the witchy community. So today's topic is going to be all about fantasy versus reality in witchcraft. So I know a lot of my experienced witches are probably going to roll their eyes at this subject and go, why are we talking about this? It's pretty clear what reality and what fiction looks like. However, as witchcraft becomes more and more popular, there's going to be more and more media about movies and series and different things like this. So there needs to be a clear separation. Obviously there is, but a lot of people get upset when, like, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina came out, and a lot of people got upset, especially in the witchy community, about how it portrays witches as these dark, satanic things, when in general, a lot of witches practice a darker path. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And it's a fantasy, it's a movie, it's a series. It has no way to depict real magic. They weren't trying to go for that either. So if you're offended by a TV show, that's just a little crazy to me. I mean, it's clearly fantasy. It's clearly there just for entertainment. They're in no way trying to document actual witchcraft and the actual craft. If you wanted to watch something like that, go watch a documentary. There's plenty of documentaries on witchcraft and the craft and medieval ages and all that stuff that's full of nice historical facts. You know, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, or The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, or Charmed, or Practical Magic, or The Craft, or anything like that should not be reliable sources for any type of information, just because that they are fantasy. It's a Hollywood mirage, it's a Hollywood glamour, as you can say. It's a fantasy. There's no way it's based on fact. It's just very, very loosely, very loosely based on some of the practices that witches partake in. However, I've never seen a movie that really depicts witchcraft in a really accurate light. I would really love to see that. I've seen a lot of movies pick little things from witchcraft and then incorporate it into the movie to make it seem more witchy-like. So why are we talking about this? I've seen this growing number of newcomer witches come into the craft, and when, you know, they start asking questions and everything else, like, how do I become a witch? How do I do this and that? And then they notice that, damn, there's a lot of work involved here. Not only do you have to read and study and practice and prepare yourself mentally and physically to kind of take on this responsibility of being a witch, there's this whole nother world and language and terms that you have to learn. It's a lot of study and dedication, and then people find that out and they're immediately put off by it, because I feel like Hollywood has put this image in their head of, you know, this is a witch and this is what she looks like and this is what she practices, and, you know, you could be a witch by doing this or that. And then when they find out the truth, that it's actually witches come in all shapes and sizes and all forms of life, and, you know, practicing takes a lot of dedication and time, then they are put off by it. They're kind of misled by that fact. But the fact is that fantasy movies should not be taken seriously in the craft. Now, that being said, you know, there's a lot of parts of movies that I really love and I really enjoy. I love all my witchy movies, all of them. There's nothing wrong with watching witchy movies and being fascinated by them and, you know, obsessed with them in a way. That's me. I watch everything witch related ever. That's what I look up on my Netflix or Amazon. Anything witch related, I'm watching it. But I also know that it's fantasy. You can't really take anything from this movie and use it. You can get inspired by that movie and kind of write a spell, maybe mimicking it or something like that, but it shouldn't be used as a basis of information. Now, pop culture witchcraft is a whole separate thing. That's not what I'm really talking about here. I'm really talking about the misrepresentation of witches in media and how young witches shouldn't really take that into account. Young witches now come into the craft, and I've seen this especially, of course, on social media, where they would come in and they would need a spell to grow wings or to change their hair color or whatever, thinking that, you know, it will happen. And I feel like that's in partly because of this Hollywood facade that, you know, they portray witches as this big fantasy type of thing. Now, witches do have a foot in the fantasy role. However, what we do is more methodical and practical and takes a lot of time and study. So basically, the whole basis of this video is don't take movies too seriously. Don't take little series too seriously. People get really offended by the series and movies and whatnot, but honestly, don't take them too seriously. Take books seriously. Take documentaries seriously if you want to do more, you know, modern version of research. Go look on YouTube. There's a bunch of other witches who do other things. So if you are not the reading type, YouTube is for you. Take resources, you know, take serious resources seriously and fantasy resources as inspiration. That's what I'm trying to say. So that will conclude our video for today. It's just a short and sweet type of WitchCast. I know it's pretty late on Saturday night. I usually do these Saturday mornings, so you could catch the next episode of WitchCast then, which we will be discussing another witchcrafty controversial topic. Join the coven and subscribe if you have not done so already. Follow me on all the pagan and witches aminos, where I post cute little blogs about different things. And check out my Etsy page. We have new testiography sets that just dropped, and they are super awesome, super beautiful. And follow me on Instagram and Facebook and all my socials and everything else like that. So until next time, everyone have a lovely, lovely full moon, and I will see you guys.